I'm coming. You just want scratches, don't you? Good girl. Itchy spot. You've got brushes on your bum, baby. Come here. Come here. Oh. It's alright, it's because Dixie was moving. Hello, Dix. Oh, you really are molting, little one. Yes, alright. That's okay. You like this? Yes, you do. You like it better with the brush, don't you? Hey? Stand. Yes, I know. Hello, Abby. What? Hello, you little devil. This probably isn't going to pick up, but I'll give it a good go. I was assessing Dixie because 3 weeks ahead of her actually coming down to the school, she was incredibly poorly. She was not herself, so I wanted to assess her and see how well she is really when she is moving. Excuse that was the gates banging when we had the wind. But getting her to move out, getting her to move forwards and actually use her body, because obviously I've just let her be after her being ill. That was alright. She scared herself a little bit, but then she came back and settled right down, so I didn't mind that. But yes, I wanted to assess how she was moving, how she was feeling in herself, and just how much she had actually remembered from our previous training sessions. So this was obviously the Friday, and you'll see how this week's sort of training session went. Good. Well done, Dixie. Well done. Well done, sweetheart. Well done, baby. Good girl. What have you seen? Now. Asking her up into the trot to get her moving. As you can see, she's still quite weak throughout her hind end, which is why she wants to rush and go fast instead of coming back and sitting on her back end. So that is something we do work with. Getting her to turn and hide her hindquarters, though, was really good to see from her. She was focused and she knew the command and did it very well. Sending her again on the other rein and seeing how we cope on this rein, because this was her worst rein, and I really wanted to see exactly what the issue we had here was. Normally it's the inside leg she does not like, really trying to bend her body around, especially if you've got a rider on or you're long reining. She doesn't like bending her body. So all the work we have done previous to this with her is nice to see her want to use her body and want to use that part of her brain. So I did this with her. I only did it a couple of times just because I wanted to see her responses, and then I tested it up a little bit more just to get a better idea of what exactly I was working with her. Now this is an exercise you can do in hand, you can do ridden. Right now I'm using it as an in-hand exercise. So it's like a spiral. Excuse me, cat. It is like a spiral. She has to come in and come out following the commands. So what you'll see here is that she didn't understand. It was my fault. I stepped in front of her drive line and then got her to bounce, which is what you're seeing. That is them out for today. In tomorrow to start some real work. Bye, Dixie. Bye, Apps. Be a good girl. So yes, in for tomorrow to be actual coming back into work, all three. So all three will be work tomorrow. I can't write on my whiteboard because it's dried out. What? My whiteboard pen. Is it? Yeah. Oh. And the lid's not on it. Oh. So couldn't write on the board, but the car. Yeah, there should be. I know what I'm doing. Go. Hang on, baby. Long line tricker, long line Dixie. And lunge, well, attempt to do some playing with Apollo and leading with Apollo. Whew. We'll see how we crack on for tomorrow. Obviously horses have weekends off, same as I get a weekend off, but I don't. I went swimming yesterday. My calf muscles are absolutely killing me.
Well, this walk will do it if you get off.
Yeah, this walk will do it, Dad. First one down to the school obviously had to be Trix because I do it in order of age. So Trix first, then Dixie, then Apollo. She's the baby, she's the youngest. So with Trix, it is playtime. Basically all we're doing with her at the moment is just having playtime with her and just spending time enjoying her. Now Trix is the kind of horse that hates being out of work, but however, to rebuild her we sort of play and then start the long lining process and lunging. However, Trix does not like lunging all that much, but we do play and that's what she sees it all as, and it's just nice to spend time with her, some quality time with her anyway, when I'm not rushing around doing stuff for Dixie or Apollo or anybody else. So playing with Trix is a sort of fun thing for her. I always stretch her legs out, it's just natural part of it. I just do it, stretch her legs out, let her have a nice good stretch throughout her shoulder and part of her back, and obviously repeat it on the other side. So I was doing things like her, using my commands with her as if we were ridden. So my leg on command that I use with Trix is what I would normally use whilst I'm on her back. So leg on to get her crossing over but not rushing into it, and just doing a few nice steps over and then standing square, giving her a lot of praise, just making sure we really fully understand what I'm asking, what she's expecting from me. And that's how I do things with Tricka. It doesn't seem the most orthodox way of doing things, but it works. For us, it works. So the leg on command, she knows. Same as I'm using that with all of them now, is the leg on. If I touch them where my leg would go, it would be leg on, and then they move from that command, which Trix knows pretty well. Dixie, learning. Apollo is picking it up very quickly as well. Leg on. Leg on. Good girl. Well done. Leg on. Good. Much better on this side. Good girl. Up. Up. Leg on. Leg on. Leg on. This side, leg. Leg on. Good girl. Good girl. Good. Stand. Woo. Woo. Hey. Listen. Good. Leg on, Trix. Good. One more. One more. Leg on. Leg on. Leg on. Good girl. Good girl. Good, Tricky. Done, Trix. Good girl. Good girl. Good. Good girl. That's enough for today. Good girl. You're not fit enough yet. Neither am I. But good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good. Good girl. Oh, good girl, Tricky. Okay, on to Dixie. So, training with Dixie. Pretty simple, pretty easy. With her, get her walking, get her moving, get her using her brain and her body. I do film, I think I still kept it in, I'm not sure, of stretching of her legs as well, and just you can see how well she nice and stretches down. So to begin anything with Dixie, I tend to just let her out on a nice long line and make her walk forwards, trying to engage her hind end. Here I was seeing on our stop command and seeing how well we got to start listening, which is where my lunge rep comes in, because that's how we have done a lot of our training, is through actual visual commands instead of voice commands, which I know I've created a rod for my own back to come to riding. But for now, just working with her this way is nice. We can rebuild her slowly. I can get her back up a little bit more stronger. But again, with Dixie and doing things with her, she didn't spend too long down school, but long enough to get a little bit of a workout on. With her, again, when I ask her to use my commands, I'm using every single command I would use with Trix, and the same as Apollo. But this was nice to see her respecting her commands, as in a few months ago you wouldn't have even seen that. So nice big stretches for her, which was really nice to see because she really did stretch throughout her legs and her shoulder. I mean, when she stretched through her other leg, you really felt her give to you, which is really, really nice. So again, I did say this previously, I did this with Trix. Where my leg would go, I'm putting my hand, because obviously you don't want a too sensitive horse, and she needs to do a bit of desensitization about having pressure where your leg would go. So I'm using my hand at the moment to put commands to go forwards. So I say leg on when my hand goes on, and you can see she gets a bit stressy about it. I do switch sides and do it with her and just try and keep everything as easy and calm and quiet as possible with her. But here she's getting a little bit too biggy for her britches and decides that if she rears up then, or just does her little bounce, she doesn't really rear at all. I'm just trying to calm her down and be able to touch her face. She's just being silly there at that point, because she was being a bit silly. She had a tiny bit of straw stuck on her nose and it was driving me up the wall. Yeah, she doesn't scare me anymore when she does things like that. And I would have quit, but now she just doesn't scare me. I'm so used to it with her. Then you can see here that she's getting over herself, and I didn't want to leave the lesson on the end of this. Well, it wasn't a lesson, it was a schooling session, but I didn't want to leave it on the end like this. So she went to bite my fingers then, which is why she's got a tap on the nose. I wanted to get to the point where I could touch her side without her being an absolute idiot. As you can hear, I am telling her off a little bit and just talking to her. My tone of voice hasn't changed. Okie dokie, Apollo's turn. So, Apollo has been doing really well. She is really coming on, really showing the brain that she has for working and learning. So what we've done with Apollo is, I did already have foundations set in for a little bit of lunging. Today the plan was really just to cement those settings and just look at her, really, because I've seen Apollo trot and canter and buck around and all of that down in the field. I've never actually seen her behave herself really well whilst in the school, but she has been getting better. So this is just doing a little bit of desensitizing. It's what I've been doing with her for the last 3 weeks. Every time I've come down to the school, getting her used to having things touch her whilst I'm not like completely next to her, hearing things hit the floor, just doing general groundwork with her and sending her forwards once she's been really good. So this is a little bit of what we're doing in the lunging sessions. or just doing, we're not doing long lunging at all. We're basically just sending her forwards on a circle, getting her to stop out on her own without coming in like Dixie does. She turns in, and that's not really what I want to do with Apollo. I want to have our own space. But obviously I'll go to her to give her a lot of praise, making her stand. So that was really, really, really good with her, which is what I was so happy about. And then changed the rein to get her to sort of go on the other rein. She's not too confident on this rein, but she does get a lot better. It just takes time. All babies take time. She does not look like a proper horse yet. She is still very much growing into her little body. Well, it's not little, it's quite big. She's got very big feet, but she is growing into her body. Not as confident on this rein, as I said, gets a little bit stuck and wants to be more close to you for confidence, but she does get it towards the end, which is really, really nice, which is then when I end it with her on the lunging part of sending forwards. I did want to send her forwards just to walk, and then that was it. Stop. I'm pretty sure. Yes, I did. Wanted her to go forwards past the sticky little bits that she has, and then leave it on the good notes of that part of the session. I'll explain what we do in a second. I was kind of bricking it here. I was thinking, well, if I don't ask her now, then I'm always going to be bricking it when I ask her to go up into a faster transition. But last time I asked her for trot, whilst we were doing things like this, it went incredibly badly. So my plan was to get her attention, get her moving forwards, and then ask up for the trot. Now obviously my phone is on a bit of a timer here, so you do see her trot, and I'm so happy because it was just so good. She was so good. Absolutely amazing. Then of course lots and lots of cuddles for her. See, not that scary, is it, to do things? Hey? I keep losing my trousers. But that was good, even for you, Apollo. That was good. Oh, you seen Bear, have you? Hey? You seen Bear? Good gal. I'm very dirty already. Good gal, baby. Good gal. Yes, I'll give you a treat when we go up. Good. You stand and you're happy. That's all Mummy wants. Good girl. Oh, you're so good. Not bad. Well, that was so much better. She's going to eat some grass, which I don't mind, because all the big two already have had grass on the way up. Come on then, walk on please. Good girl. So debrief on Apollo, and I'll do a debrief on the two big ones in a minute. Good girl, Apps. So we have been working with Apollo off camera for her leading and foundation work, just to get her foundations in. Obviously she's not getting worked every single day, she is a baby still, so she's getting worked twice a week if that. But as you can see, we are getting a lot better with boundaries. Good girl. Oh, it's okay, it's just Dad. Come on, come on. Good girl. And we have started putting the foundations in for lunging and little bits, but that's good. Really, really good for her. Obviously instant regret turning them out naked. Good girl. No, we're not going out yet. Come on. That's a good girl. Come on. Right, get past the big two now. Good girl. Come on. I'm very sweaty now, but this one was very good. We're just going to give him some carrots as a treat. Here you go, you psychopath. So Dixie was good. We're doing with her like little bits of that was my finger, Apollo. Little bits of getting her used to where your leg would go, and doing some work with her because she is on rehab for the muscles and tendons, isn't it, with her?
Nah, just a muscle.
Muscles with Dixie. So rebuilding her up nice and slowly. Apollo obviously did really, really well with foundations. Good girl.
Good at the plank, it's just too strong anyway.
Trika is obviously, because we're walking up a nice big track with a bit of a hill. Whoopsie. Trix is coming on a lot stronger than she was, but Trix again is rebuild her muscle, rebuild all her strength back up, because obviously we've let them have winter off. She's like, I'm going to bite your hand. Don't bite me. You can lick, but don't bite. They've had winter off. Apollo's not getting worked that often. Dixie and Trika are getting worked. Oh, that was just cruel. Don't be nasty. But yes. Back to work, isn't it, everybody?
You're a good girl.
You get back to work. Yes.
You got your hay next?
Yeah, you're all in for tonight. Mwah. You're a good girl, Dixie. You gonna come see me again? There we go. Right. So, ending this, if I can get Trix's head back over. Hello. There she is. Ending it on Trika's. Really good work out of Trix. Even if it was just playtime with her. But I'd rather have playtime with her than ask her to do something she doesn't want to do. And plus, she is not fit enough yet for it. Bugger me. My box is broken. There we go. My box is broken, but hey hey. Yeah, she's not fit enough yet to be ridden. She's not fit enough to do a lot. So we're just taking it nice and easy with all of them. And hopefully in July, July we'll be out at a few in-hand shows with them all. Well, maybe not her. We'll see how she goes. Dixie. Apollo, definitely. We want to get her out, and Trix. I don't think it's a good idea taking Trix to a show at her age, because it might just explode her brain. But we'll see. We'll see how we go. Obviously, I want to get out to a few dressages and obviously work with my beautiful girls. Goodbye, my darlings. See you later. But yes, all in all, very good morning's worth of work.